Okay, hi, welcome back to session two of Hearts of Wulin, our April session. So last time, I guess not a lot has happened. We set up our tangled web of relationships, and then they're just kicking into motion. I think the biggest news in these these woods is that the Jade Serpent has put out a rumor that they are going to have a washing of hands ceremony where they're going to wash their hands of the Wulin world forever. They're going to retire apparently, and this is kind of like a real middle finger to the rest of the Wulin world because Jade Serpent is not known to be a righteous person, and lots of people have beef with them. So this will be interesting. Um, yeah. So last time, Gentleman Baoyin, who AKA Nanfeng, suspects that he may be Jade Serpent's son and is trying to investigate this biz and has arrived back in town. Perfectus Starfall seems to be pretty uh, beleaguered with uh, faction responsibilities. Of the shootings. Oh nope, I don't remember what faction. Oh, Meteor Grace clan, and Many Timer Shahu is still living his best life and partying it up, while Graven Hunter has a lot of wrongs that needs to be righted. He's got like a major chip on his shoulder, multiple chips on his shoulder. Um, yeah, so I feel like, Perfect Starfall. Are you gonna have a talk with Mini Timber Xiaohu?
Yes, I am on my way to find them right now as we speak.
Yeah, let's say that this is not immediately following last time. So maybe like a couple of days has passed. You've been very busy, I'm sure, preparing for I don't know, strategizing. Oh
Yeah,
wait, strategizing. Hold on. Isn't that one
the
of your moves?
final master. Heck yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I I feel like that's a move best rolled like when we're in the middle of something and you're like, I already have a plan. Is it?
Let's see.
No,
When you
actually, that's not
declare
true.
a plan,
Yeah. Okay. So
uh,
like, no, go ahead.
I can declare a plan if and that'd be fun to roll and see how it works out.
Yeah. So like, so you know about. I think you know more than most people do about like kind of like what is real or what people assume is really happening with this washing of hands ceremony, and you definitely need to come up with some kind of way to deal with it because it if unchecked it will be a bloody business.
Yeah, I think my plan is to kind of kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to convince Mini Tempered Xiaohu to challenge Jade Serpent at the Washing of Hands ceremony to set the record straight. Um, that way, Mini Tempered Xiaohu will bring honor to our clan, and we don't have to kill Jade Serpent or anything, but at least she will have uh, paid for her crimes in some public way.
Oh, I mean, all right. I see. Seems like you have a lot of faith in Mayor Michelle, whose martial abilities.
Yeah, so I think I was thinking about this between sessions, and I think he's like um, my um, number one student. Like I have utmost faith in Mini Tempered Xiaohu, despite anything else that I may or may not be aware of. I think maybe I sweep that under the rug, or just subconsciously push it down because I have so much love for him.
Yeah, he's definitely a trustworthy guy. So why don't we see you roll your final master?
All right.
And again, the role for your party is under the factions and names tab.
Okay, that's what I was
I
looking
can
for.
also link it here.
I should have picked my stat before I rolled that.
Oh, right. Sorry, I forgot to remind you. Yes. What are you rolling with?
I think metal works the best for calculation, control.
Cool. And what is
So
your roll?
I rolled a 10 plus 1 for metal.
Okay. Um, let's see. So, final master on a 10 plus, you hold 2. While carrying out the plan, you can spend your hold to add plus 1 forward to a roll, clear an element, or have a needed item at hand.
Love
Okay.
it.
Great. So, okay. Mini Timber Xiaohu, where does Perfectus Starfall find you? Or are you summoned, perhaps? Wait. Yeah.
Oh, I I I can't see summoning him really working all that well. So she probably has to go look for him. Like the messengers can't find them. So I'm thinking she ultimately has to run him down, probably at that same tea house / tavern.
Yeah, I've probably given up trying to summon him over the years.
Okay. So, I mean, I mean, even like when you get to the front of the tea house, the same dude that greeted Graven Hunter before, he sees you and is like, "Oh, oh, please, Master Perfectus Starfall," and is immediately like, "I know where you're headed."
Thank you very much. And I'll just go straight to Mini Tempered Xiaohu's favorite table.
He's definitely there. I can't remember. Did Graven Hunter leave last time? After our conversation, or
Well, this is a couple days later, so we
oh,
can decide if Graven Hunter is here or not. Graven Hunter, do you think you've been like hovering by, or you've been off doing your own things?
Yeah, no, I think I'd be hovering around, just sort of that that appeal for some employment has like turned up with some sort of menial tasks, be it you know what I mean, organizing stuff or
I think Xiaohu will happily like keep him busy in order to like keep somebody local around, and eventually figure out what the heck he was talking about with this festival of business. And I think probably after a couple of days, he's figured out that that's a problem.
Great.
So
Oh, sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just realized with what Josh just said with the entanglements. I'm so sorry, but we're actually uh, I would actually like to highlight entanglements for our characters. Um so let's keep this scene on hold, but first let's highlight entanglements. Um so the way that highlighting entanglements work is you look at your romantic in general and they've been pre-highlighted on the sheet to show you what that would look like, but you can choose which one of them you would like to highlight for the session, and then if it's been engaged with during the session, then you get more experience from it. Regardless, you would get experience from entanglements, but you would just get more from your highlighted one. So everyone kind of take a look at their entanglements, and I'm just gonna very quickly ask each of you which one you're highlighting. Um, let's start with Graven Hunter.
Okay. So I mean, if I'm going to highlight one of these two, it would be suspect my friend, gentleman Bao Yin's parent is the villain Dongfeng. This feels like this is the driving, sort of motivation for Graven Hunter.
Great. Okay, sounds good. And Mini Temper Xiaohu.
I'm highlighting my tie to the Meteor Grace clan and specifically to Perfected Starfall.
Okay, so Harmonious Owl hints that they know of your shady dealings against your mentor. Great. All right. I'm gonna make that highlight color a little paler, but that sounds good. Mm, Whoops. Okay, and Gentleman Baoyin.
I think I'm going to highlight I've hidden my true identity from Desert Star because of my engagement to many tempered Xiaohu.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. And Perfected Starfall.
I'm gonna highlight my romantic one. I love Gentleman Bao Yin, but my clan member, Many Tempered Xiaohu, has been accused of a crime by them, which we decided last time was that Gentleman Bao Yin stole a like badge of our clan so he could masquerade as a Meteor Grace clan and blamed it on Many Tempered Xiaohu.
Great. That sounds good. Okay, now let's jump back into the scene. Now that we have our focus in mind. Okay, so Many Tempered Xiaohu, your teacher slash relative is coming up to you.
And he stands. Says, "Greetings, Perfected Starfall. Welcome to the tavern."
Thank you. I thought I would find you here. I'm glad I did.
"I'm glad you did too. Come, have a seat. I have tea and sake. Or no, wait, dang it. The other alcoholic beverage. I can't remember the name of it. The
Yeah,
equivalent of
you can just call it rice wine.
rice wine. There we go. Sorry. And rice wine. And it's probably really early for rice wine at this point. He should just be drinking tea, but he starts early.
I'll very obviously move the rice wine to the other end of the table and take a cup of tea from you. I apologize. Is Graven Hunter here as well? At the table? Okay. So it's just the two of us then?
Yeah, I think Eduardo said Graven Hunter's sort of hanging around the bar, but I don't think he's like hanging that close.
Right. I would say just kind of hovering around. How about that?
Perfect. All right. Well, I'm very glad I found you here by yourself. There are some matters to discuss between us. Since you are, as you know, my most trusted student, I have a very important task for you. I want to see if he reacts to this at all.
Well, he looks a little like taken aback slightly, but he recovers very quickly when you when you said like he's your most trusted student, and he's like, what do you ask me, Perfected Starfall?
Well, I assume you've heard of Jade Serpent's washing of hands ceremony that is coming up in the near future.
Yes, I've heard that there's some sort of local organization of this ceremony. I've been trying to find out what's actually going on.
Yes, me as well. But I think what's most important is that I would like you to be our clan's #1 representative at this event. I think you'd be perfect.
Well, I think I also believe I'm a perfect representative. So I will certainly represent our clan's interest. Had already undertaken to attempt to become involved in the organization for this event. So,
see, I knew it. I knew I had placed my faith in you properly. So what I was thinking is that because you are so good at the martial arts, that you would be able to not only organize the event with your other skills, but also challenge Jade Serpent face to face to once and for all prove the martial superiority of the Meteor Grace clan.
and he really looks taken aback by this. He's like, what sort of challenge? The ceremony was, I understood that it involved some sort of laying down of arms or something. Is that
Yes.
not what this thing was?
I believe that is the intent, but we have a window of opportunity before that happens to challenge Jade Serpent and rightfully take our place as martial arts masters.
We can certainly do that. This Jade Serpent, I did not. Mean, would you not think that this sort of challenge might seem to place a common criminal on the same footing as the Meteor Grace clan? I would think that would be an untoward representation of our great clan.
I completely agree, but unfortunately, the common misconception about the Jade Serpent is that they are already on even or greater footing than many within the martial arts world. So I think it's a given to the common person that Jade Serpent is a very skilled fighter.
Yes, but we can certainly convey the truth to the common people simply by clapping this criminal in irons as soon as we capture her and forcing her to face trial for her crimes, and not allow this farce of a ceremony.
Go ahead.
Oh, he was going to blather on in that same vein for a long time, basically trying to shift the idea away from him getting involved in single combat with this extra famous super bandit.
Not a bandit, just a villain. So it sounds to me, Perfected Starfall, like you are trying to hearts and minds many tempered Xiaohu.
Yes, I would agree.
Okay.
Sure.
So what do you think you're rolling with?
I think I would probably roll with metal again, since this is kind of a plan I'm trying to make come to fruition.
So yeah, you're trying to control the situation.
Yeah.
Make it happen as you will. And you also get a +1 if you choose to use it from this is a part of your plan from the final master, right?
That's right. So I've got those two hold. Yeah, I'll go ahead and use that.
Cool.
So that's at 11 total.
Okay. All right. So what this means for you, Many Temper Xiaohu is you may you mark XP. Okay. So you if you accept this really arduous and possibly impossible task, then you can mark XP. But if you don't, you will have to mark an element or burn a bond to avoid that.
Actually, I kind of love the idea of Xiaohu being slowly backed into this corner rhetorically by Perfected Starfall, to where he can't really say no, I do not want to do that at all, without completely looking like the semi coward that he kind of is. I think he just slowly gets backed in. He keeps trying to rhetorically play around it and sort of get out of it, but Perfected Starfall just slowly backs him into this corner, and he finally just assents and says, "Very well, if you think this is truly best, then I will undertake this." And all the while he's thinking, "Oh crap."
Oh, that is so great.
Thank you so much for agreeing to do this for our clan, and you will have the full backing of many of our finest warriors, including myself, there at the ceremony as well, in case you need us.
Yeah, so I certainly can't conceive of really needing additional assistance if it comes down to an honest fight between me and this criminal, this ne'er do well. But
Of course.
criminals never do fight fair, so I would appreciate the extra assistance being available. Should this Jade Serpent choose to take advantage of the situation?
Yes, and we will be extra aware.
Okay. I want to know. Many times, Xiaohu, you came back into town because you heard wind of the Jade Serpent. How do you have a plan of investigation?
Do you mean me?
Yes, I did mean you, a gentleman Baoyin, and not many times, Xiaohu. My bad.
Xiaohu also has a plan of investigation that's going to involve grabbing Graven Hunter and going, what the hell is going on with this thing?
That's fair. But first, gentleman Baoyin.
So I man, I'm not good at investigating things.
Great.
So I think, yeah, I mean, what you got?
Then I'm going to say that you're kind of like strolling through town and thinking about your next plan of action. I think I don't know if Desert Star is with you. I think maybe she is not. Desert Star seems very busy somehow. I guess has to do with this big event that's happening in town. But she was like, "Great, I'm glad we were able to chat. Peace." And now you're just kind of wandering through town, and you see Graven Hunter looking like someone else is like telling him to do things and kind of like being like, yeah, just go and grab more materials for this feast. And you two do you two know each other?
Yeah, we're friends.
Yeah, so your old friend.
And I don't know. I think you are the hidden person that you say you are. So what's your like you're like a man of the people, right? Like what do you normally doing?
Yeah, how about
I believe the role that you decided on for your like normal identity is a night watchman.
yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So just for the sake of establishing, for the sake of the ceremony, am I still sort of like using that cover, or am I kind of some sort of fixer that just is getting stuff done? I got lost between those two.
You could be both.
Okay, fair enough.
You could work both night and day shifts.
I'm just trying to raise some coins. Either way, right? Cool. Okay.
My friend, Graven Hunter, what are you doing working for these? Who's he working for? Who's this person?
Just some like old lady who's like, yeah, go bring these things, and she seems to just be making work for him as well. No one seems to know what they're doing.
What are you doing here? I thought you were working with the watch. What are you doing here with running errands for townsfolk?
Bao Yin, my old friend, these are rough times, and I just need to find anything that I can do to, generate a couple coins. I mean, it's not easy,
No. These are lean years, as it were.
Yes, but everybody's excited about the ceremony. Have you heard about it?
Oh no! Tell me more.
Yeah. Well, apparently some sort of bigwig. I mean, somebody with some local importance is retiring and settling down. Really haven't heard anything about this.
Of course, I've heard of it. You know me. Listen, I'm a little stumped, and if I remember, you were really good at getting to the bottom of things. At least I think you were.
Uh,
I-
proceed. Sorry.
No, you're good. I'd really like to find out where and when this jade serpent washing of hands ceremony is going on. I assume that's what you're talking about.
That's rather interesting. Yes, that was.
Craven Hunter, I have a question. I see on your entanglement that you suspect that Gentleman Baoyin's parent is the villain Dongfeng. Do you mean Dongfeng or do you mean the Jade Serpent?
I thought it was one and the same. That I suspect that Dongfeng is the Jade Serpent.
Okay, so this is your friend who you haven't seen in a while, right? Like, and do you think that you're trying to gauge, like, are you really just happy to see him, or do you think that you're also like trying to study him while you're having this conversation?
Completely the latter. I mean, I think I'm sort of hoping that there's an element of, that eventually, self-incrimination. I think that's what I'm sort of hoping to get at.
Yeah, it sounds like you're studying him.
Yes.
So I'm gonna get you to roll that, and I want to know what you're rolling with.
I would say, this is something that I'm not particularly good at. It's I guess I'm just trying to be creative. I'm trying to sort of like I said, I guess I'm trying to get Gentleman Baoyin to sort of incriminate his family or his mother. Fair enough.
Right. Yeah, totally. So you're rolling with fire then?
Yeah, this is just totally outside of my element. This is not, this is not my wheelhouse.
Sounds good.
So let me move some of these dice out of the way and give it a. So I'm doing badly, as expected. I got a 4 minus a 1 is a 3.
Okay. That's beautiful. I'm going to get you to mark fire. And that means that if an element is marked, you can't use it until it's cleared or there's a change in that entanglement. And to clear it, you need to... Oh, actually, no, you can just clear it. You don't need... Anyway, to clear it, you would have to either get someone to comfort support you, or you can do really well on your roll to comfort support someone as well. Okay, so so you're oh, this is so good. I want to know, like, what is Gentleman Baoyin, what is something that you do that is seriously actually very innocuous, but that Graven Hunter like interprets in a really bad way, like some kind of like personal tick or habit of yours?
So I think oh shoot, what's my picture? Do I have facial hair? Oh no, I don't.
You do not.
I think I twirl my hair in my pink, like when I'm nervous, I like grab it with my pinky and I just sort of like tug on it. And then I like let it fly away from me like that. And then I'll go and I'll grab another strand and tug on it and like let it fly away.
Yeah. And so Graven Hunter, you can tell that Gentleman Baoyin is like maybe also not the best liar, and you're just like assuming the worst, right? Because your suspicions, they're there. and like as you're like, I feel like the camera is like just like zooming in, doing this like tight shot of Gentleman Baoyin's luxurious hair. Sorry, Chris. You also notice, I think it's like you're just like this is like the busy part of town because it has the biggest tea house there. You see. From the corner of your eye, you realize that there have been some people who've been standing there for a while. They looked like they were like, I don't know, like hawking their wares or looking at wares. But you notice that they've been studying either one of you for a while now, and they have not moved from their spots.
So I first pick up on the hair twirling, and I, subsequently notice the people standing around. And I just sort of lean into Gentleman Baoyin and, something the matter? Am I not detecting something? This seems rather unusual.
You're so smart. Listen. I know that you are an excellent investigator, and I appreciate you using my moniker. But look, I don't know how to find this meeting, right? And I need, like I said before, I need to find out who this jade serpent is, right? It digs at me. I need to know. And
And while you're saying these things, Grayman Hunter, you're seeing like in front of you is your friend / possible suspect question mark and talking to you, and but like your focus is really on these people that are behind you. And when Jenna and Bonnie like leans in to like make this conversation, it's almost like it's a signal, and they all just start casually strolling towards you guys as well. And we get that close-up scene of like one of them, their sandaled feet like like stepping into this dusty ground, and the dust kind of like flying up around them.
I lean back into Gentleman Baoyin and, this is truly odd. Is this trouble? Do you recognize any of these people?
And I think he just now notices them, because he's been focused on you, so like paying attention to you, and he scans around to see what you're talking about. And do I recognize these people?
I don't know. Do you? Why don't you roll for it?
Sure. How does this work? What move do I use?
You would be rolling study for sure, unless you have something about like recognizing strangers.
I definitely don't.
And tell me what element you're rolling with.
Yeah. Okay. So, awareness.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, probably awareness. Okay. Cool.
Okay, so water. Cool.
Water. Let me delete these other red dice. Okay. Okay, so that is an 8. Because I have +2 water.
Great. So on a 7 to 9 for study, you get to ask one question or declare one detail.
Ooh. All right, let's see. What are these questions? So ask a question about the situation, place, escape routes, hidden details, threats. Ask a question about a person, motivation, desires, intentions, meanings of manipulation. Learn a person's scale. That would be nice to know, actually. Or reveal a detail. I think I want to... I don't want to pull it out of your hands yet. So I think I just want to know.
I totally do, though.
You do?
It.
Okay. Well, then I think the jade serpent has a symbol, and that like the wind blows, and like my hair moves out of my eyes, and then you see one of their like shirts flaps open, and you can see this medallion of the jade serpent on like the lead guy.
Great. So suddenly it seems like a lead is for your quest for truth is walking up to you in a menacing slow-mo kind of way.
This conversation has been short, but I fear that we have guests or intruders. We're outdoors. Are you prepared for this?
I think I'm going to need you to protect me. I'm not nearly the martial artist that everyone assumes I am.
Don't fear, my friend. And I step in front of him.
Great. Yeah, the leading person, the dude, whose shirt flap open to reveal his silver medallion. He sees you like step up, and he just kind of like smirks at you. He's like, and then he kind of like adjusts his collar so that the medallion like glints really brightly in the sunlight. Like, you know who I am. And he kind of just like steps like he's gonna step around you. And then the rest of the people, there's I believe there's one lady who at first looked like she was like, let's see, what was she selling? She was selling um cloth. And she's also circling around one side, and then there's another man who was looking at the cloth for a very long time, stepping over to the other side. And yeah, this man, he doesn't look like he wants to engage with you. He just kind of is like, yeah, bro, peace.
I think I'm gonna try to block his path. Because I want to talk to this guy.
You want to talk to him?
Yeah.
All right.
But we're probably gonna have to fight first, but hopefully I can talk to him.
That's a very interesting thing.
Or is it like, should I quip first and then we fight? And then
well, he didn't seem like he wanted to fight you. So if you get in his way again, you can certainly do that.
So I think I'll just rather than block his path, I will sort of call out to him. And beautiful jewelry you have.
He kind of like throws a salute at you.
You wouldn't be heading anywhere interesting, would you?
You should keep walking, sir.
But we have so much to talk about, and now I'll get in his way.
Oh, and he like his eyes narrow, and he's like, "We can talk later, sir."
Do I like? Okay, do I recognize this guy at all, or because now it's starting to sound like he's he's being familiar.
You recognize the
like, is the rumor that am I a known quantity? Like,
so he certainly seems like he knows you.
Yeah.
But you don't know if you know him.
Yeah, okay. Okay, but where later?
He just like gestures behind him, not at the fancy tea house, but at the tavern across the street, where the real people go to hang out.
Oh yeah. And I'll look back at Graven Hunter. What's going on there? Is it like, are you looking for incriminating evidence? Like, do I look back and you look disappointed that I'm not fighting these guys, or do I look back and you're like, oh good, we dodged a bullet?
I think I would be studying this intently. I mean, if I was going to have an internal monologue, it would be something like, they seem to know each other. This is
yeah.
This is rather telling.
Great. Oh my gosh, yeah. And like at this point, the lady is like, she's like carrying she's carrying a bunch of like a bunch of cloths, rolls of cloths. Anyway, she's carrying them, and you can see that her hand is reaching in now and pulling something out. This is not what Gentleman Volume sees. This is what you see, Graven Hunter. And she's like, I mean, her eyes are like freaking killer eyes, and you'd recognize them because you are also a killer. So, she's gonna engage in a fight with you, and it seems like your friend is not going to defend you.
Hmm. I mean, I think I would. I mean, I would try to get Bao Yin to sort of clear the scene.
Okay, what do you say?
I have a suggestion. Why don't you follow those miscreants, those ruffians, and just sort of see where they end up? Perhaps they may know something about this jade serpent.
I feel like this is maybe you can say that certainly, but they're walking towards you. I mean, the lady is
I
walking towards
misunderstood.
you.
Gotcha.
I'm so sorry. She is walking towards you with killing intent in her eyes.
Gotcha.
You assume.
Man, I don't want to blow my cover.
You can certainly run away. That's always an option.
Trying to think of something clever, but yeah, I mean,
and you can still engage in a fight, but we can say that it doesn't look like you're actually fighting with martial arts skills, right? Like,
sure,
that's a part of your background, so you can still fight. It's just, and it doesn't have to be like, whoa.
Yeah. I guess I'm just trying to channel something but perhaps engaging in a fight, like you suggest, but I mean, can I just sort of, for example, defend only, or maybe even take a blow and then run away? Is that within the mechanics with it?
Yeah, I think that would mean that you're dueling.
Okay.
With this one lady. Actually, yeah, it sounds like you're dueling.
I think as soon as I realize that like someone's actually, because right now that guy in the front obviously does not seem to want anything from me, and I'm pretty focused on him. But as soon as I notice that there's like someone trying to hurt us or my friend, I'm gonna jump in.
Great.
Yeah, I don't think he would notice because he's really focused on this one dude, and he's not staring at her cloth.
Yeah, and she's like I think she's approaching from somewhere now behind. So yeah, you can't see this. Let's see. And this man, he has like not like a sword. It's like a what are weapons called? Oh, let's just say he has a hatchet. Yeah, he has a hatchet. He looks like some like stereotype of a woodcutter. And so he just kind of like reaches for his belt where the hatchet is, and he starts like pulling it up, and he's like this conversation's over. We're gonna meet at that tavern later to talk because you want to talk. Fine, that's whatever. So he's brushing by you, but first let us have this duel between Graven Hunter and this lady. So you're gonna be rolling with your style element.
Okay. I have to apologize. Can you remind me? How do I find that again? It's
according to your character sheet, it's metal. So it's written by the Hidden Path. That's your style element.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
So it's a 4 and a 6. That's a 10 plus the 2. Gets me to 12.
Cool. That's a 12. Excellent. So she's this lady. Interesting. So she's on your scale, which means on 10 points you win the conflict and may mark experience if you show mercy or let them escape. You may also declare a shift in the fiction, so a change of heart, impress someone, shift in entanglement. But first of all, I want to know, like, what does your fighting style look like? So she reaches into the bolt of cloth. That's what it is, bolts of cloth. And she pulls out 3 daggers that are kind of like in between her fingers, and she immediately starts throwing them at you.
Mm-hmm. But, since he's with the Many Venom sect and the Hidden Path, I mean, I think you're asking me optically, sort of like visually, what does
Totally.
that look? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of maybe sort of fluidity to it, if that's a word. It's very flowing. It's almost like snake-like, perhaps. Maybe there's an element of, you think I'm here, but then I'm actually here, and then
Ooh.
you know what I mean? And I think my approach is just to try to match her move for move, and once again, it's an element of, she thinks she's throwing over here, but I'm actually over here.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you think there's like a moment when you're like are you striking? You're striking with your saber, and then there's like a CGI of like a snake going like hiss or something.
Absolutely, completely.
That's awesome. Okay. And so do you show her mercy?
I do,
Completely?
because at the end of the day, I want to maintain the facade of, just yeah, I can't connect. I'm kind of inept at this, I just got kind of lucky,
Yeah,
and
and how are
so
you showing that you're inept while also being super good at the same time?
perhaps I'm not actually cutting or drawing any blood. I might, if stop short, or I hit her with the flat of the blade, or um, there's an element of maybe Jerry Lewis in it, right? Where it's kind of like, it's almost like comedic to some extent. Maybe I'm trying to think of a good example. Maybe I accidentally put my foot in a bucket, and then I carry on for a third of the fight with the bucket still stuck to my foot. You know what I mean? And
That's awesome. And how does this fight end? How do you show her
um,
mercy?
I think I just wear her out. And it's the fact that I haven't been killed. I haven't been hurt. And yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love it's like this is like a continuous fight. Um and then at the end it seems to be like getting slower and slower. So at first it's very fast, and then like later on she's kind of like panting and like running after you, and then you're like, "Oh, this bucket on my foot." And then in the end she's just like there like leaning against this pillar, and you're just like, "Uh?" Oh, that's so good. Meanwhile, on the other side, so, uh, interesting. So, this man is moving past you, Gentleman Ballion, raising his hatchet.
No, I let him go. He said we're gonna meet at the tavern later, so I'm gonna meet him at the tavern later.
Oh, okay, so you're not gonna try
Yeah,
to help your friend.
like he said. Well, no, I mean, sorry, that's a different guy with a hatchet.
No, it is the guy you're talking to. So, okay, let me
Or is he trying to
paint.
get past me to get to
Yeah, to
Graven?
get to
Oh, okay.
to get to
I'm so
Graven
sorry. I
Hunter.
thought he was just trying to leave,
No, no,
and
no. He
like
was
maybe they
raising.
weren't actually connected in any way. Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, no, I just so I actually just keep getting in his way. And when he raises his hatchet, I will I carry a staff. So I kind of like lean on it subjectively a lot. Like I'll do the, hey, but I'm sort of just always on my, like, have this staff out. And so when he pulls it out, I sort of like, whoa, no, but like I stay between. So if he swings at me, I'll block, but I won't
Yeah.
I won't swing first.
Yeah, if you're continuously in his way, he's not going to strike at you with a hatchet, but he definitely tries to kick you in the chest.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of the way of that and probably try to trip him.
Okay,
Because
this sounds like a duel.
yeah, let's
then.
fight this guy.
Yeah. So you're also going to roll with your style element, which is wood. And
But the whole time, I'm probably just sort of trying to get him to tell me like little bits of information.
Sure.
I'm
I
taunting
mean, he's
him
on
the
your
whole time.
scale. He's not less than your scale. So we gonna see if you succeed or not first.
Yeah. Oops. Oh wait, I don't want to clear everything. I just want to delete these red dice. Okay. All right. Let's see what happens. Oof. That's a 6 total.
Oh, yes. Well, first of all, do you want to burn a bond to add 1?
Let's see. What are my bonds? Oh, Graven Hunter is one of my bonds, or the Frost Hearth Palace is my bond. So what would that look like when you burn a bond? Is it just a narrative thing? You sort of describe how that happens. I don't want to lose my buddy, so I think I'm going to out myself, and I'm going to use some Frost Hearth Palace techniques in this fight.
That's great. Oh, that's very good. Okay, yeah, I'm about that.
So yeah, okay. So I'll just mark that as 0, right?
Yes.
And then what happens there?
Well, on a
when
7
you
to
burn a bond?
9, you may declare a shift in the fiction. So you can say like, oh, there's a change of heart, impress someone, or shift an entanglement on basically anyone who's in the scene right now. But if it's another PC, you have to negotiate. But so on the 7 to 9, you also choose one. You can win at a cost, which is where you mark an element, they escape, you lose face, or other cost, or you can narrate your loss, which means that you can mark experience and then take +1 forward when you next face them, or you can deadlock, which is like where you're stuck and not one side is winning, and you can reveal a detail or ask a question about this person.
Oh, well, I mean, obviously I want a question about this person. So I will deadlock. So does that, so then I get to ask a question about them? That's the thing
You
that
may
happens
reveal
there?
a detail or ask a question, yes.
Oh, okay. I mean, that sounds like a benefit. All the other ones seem kind of, but okay. So yeah, so we're stuck in, we can't beat each other. And I the whole time I'm just like, okay, look, but could you just tell me now, like look, I know there's a ceremony in town. Look, if you could just tell me where that's going to be, that would really help me out. I just really need to know, like, look, you've got the medallion, you're going to be there. Right. And like the whole time, and we're getting tired, and we're not like, nobody's landing any blows.
Yeah. And what does Taunt of the Monkey look like? And then
Oh.
I'm also going to ask you about what the Frost Hearth Palace, like, what is the detail that reveals your identity, or like confirms your
Right.
identity to this person?
So the Taunt of the Monkey style it's very much like dodging out of the way and then striking a pose, like just to annoy them, right?
Oh my gosh.
So like maybe you like dodge to the left, and then like you're leaning up against the post, and then you like skip back and then hop up on a thing and do the little crouch, and you kind of look and you're like, are you gonna come at me? Like, what's going on? And all the while, normally you would be able to like get in a counter attack that whole time, but he's too good. I can't strike back. So I'm just spending my whole time dodging out of the way and getting tired, and my hair's like messed now. It's the worst.
Is there something in your style that reveals your Frost Hearth Palace beginnings?
I think so. We said there's no magic, so it's definitely not, because I was initially I started to think like maybe it gets cold, but that doesn't seem to fit with our world. So I think as he gets tired, he starts to get frustrated. And I think that there's probably some stances, or no, what's the thing that they shout right when they take a form or whatever, like he reverts back to his early training.
Oh,
right?
okay.
And like he'll go take a stance, and he'll shout the like, you know, Kia or whatever, but like whatever they say specifically.
Right.
And it's sort of, it's, you know, just maybe it's something, some like moniker about the
Right.
Frostheart pal, like, you know, oh man. I want it to be something like ice in your veins, like never, you know, like never break or something like that. But so
Okay.
yeah, he just has this like thing that he shouts when he's fighting, but it only comes out when he's like really stressed out and can't, like, he has to rely on his early training to
Yeah.
hold on.
Yeah. So when you shout that, I mean, I love the scene because it's like it's like a parallel between the both of you, where like all of you are fighting, and it's just like at first everyone is like getting out of your way because it's a fight in the market, but then you're just like getting slower and slower, and everyone's just like sweating like crazy, and then it's like the sun is just like shining down. Everyone's like, and you're like asking these questions, and when you shout whatever it is about the ice in your veins, calm your hearts or whatever, he just like leans against like a nearby stall, like, and he's like, you know in your heart where it should be. You of all people should know that where the sun never reaches is where the ceremony is going to be. And then he like glances to this in a direction of like the mountains that are just by this town, and he just like is like and he like gets up and he sees like the other side. But you're in a deadlock. Okay, great. And he's just like there's definitely a stitch in his side, so he's like resting there. And I want to say that many times, Xiaohu, you've been hearing this commotion that's going on outside. It should be it should be miniature Xiaohu. Because you two are engaged, right? I just want to double check.
Yeah, that's right.
Great. Dancer of Loss also is a person. So you see this fight that's going on. If you were to look out the window, you would see that there's this fight going on, and so Manitama Xiaohu, and you don't know Gentleman Baoyin, right?
Right. I know that I was engaged to an individual who I think was named Nanfeng.
Yes.
But that's the only name he knows. He'd never actually met them. It was entirely an arranged thing.
Yeah, and you met their sibling, Dancer of Loss, instead. Yes. Okay, so yeah, you look down at this this fight that's going on. It's now comedically almost come to like a standstill because everyone seems to be very exhausted, which is understandable. Martial arts, it's a very exhausting activity.
But Xiaohu's really tired from up here.
Yeah, and you like maybe you were just gonna keep watching. You see that one of the people involved in this fight is Graven Hunter, the person that you've engaged to buy things, arrange things, ? And some other people that you don't know. But you also see from across the street where the normal people's tavern is, like a couple floors up, you see Dancer of Loss, and she like seems to just be leaning out of the window like casually as well, and she stops, stares very closely, and then like vaults out of the window. Go ahead.
I think he had just taken a really deep pull of the rice wine, and then he just immediately does a spit take as soon as he like locks, as soon as his vision like focuses on her, and she jumps out of the window, and then he starts running down the stairs to get down to the bottom floor. He's not
Great.
going to jump out of the window. That's craziness. No, he's going down the stairs.
Okay. Okay. So, if I remember correctly, there was one more person. When you run out, you see. Oh yeah, of course, Tiger Skin Guardian is just like heaves a long suffering sigh and like takes a piece of cloth that was on the table and begins mopping down things. When you run to the door, you see that. Huh. Interesting. You see that Dancer of Loss runs up to some guy that you haven't seen before and throws her arms around him while he's like sweaty AF. And then there's another person who unsheaths his sword and is now advancing on both of them, who probably have not noticed.
I think Xiaohu's a little taken aback by Dancer of Loss's show of affection for whoever this other person is, but he is definitely not going to stand by some ruffian approaches them with weapons drawn. So,
yeah, you don't think that? Oh, okay. I mean, I was gonna ask, like, if it really bothers you, perhaps that the love of your life is hugging someone else very, very affectionately.
well, that does, but he also, you know, this other person that she's hugging can be dealt with surreptitiously. Somebody trying to axe her in the back, or stab her in the back, or knife her in the back, or whatever this person's trying to do, that person needs to be dealt with first.
Okay, so you don't think that this is a moment where you would be facing some inner conflict?
Oh, definitely inner conflict.
Oh, it is. Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely inner conflict. Like but I think he wants to intervene. Like,
Okay.
but yeah, there's definitely that inner conflict.
Well, let's
Sorry,
get you to roll inner.
I wasn't sure what you were asking. Okay, sorry.
Oh no, yeah, I was slowly winding my way towards that question. So, what are you rolling with? It can be anything aside from your style element.
Let's see. I'm thinking. Let's see. His style element is earth. I'm thinking he's rolling with fire because he's trying to sort of deal with this surge of passion that he's not really used to feeling consistently, like love for somebody who's not him. Like, it's been a while since he's seen Dancer of Loss, so
Right.
this is awkward.
Fair.
And he's trying to figure out how to get a handle on this.
All right, go for it.
That's an 11. Oh, well.
Oh, okay. I want to see what, like, physically, what does this look like? You freaking out a little bit at first, but just holding it in.
Yeah, I think like his eyes keep going back to the person who's approaching them. What sort of weapon is that person holding? Or have they
Just a sword. They're
okay.
just some extra.
Okay, okay. So he sees the person, he sees the sword, he sees her looking away and hugging this other person who has apparently very amazing hair, and then looks back and then looks again, and his eyes, you just keep seeing this flashes back and forth and back and forth, and then finally, as the person gets ready to draw and attack, I think you see Xiaohu's axe intercept the sword and knock it away.
Yeah, or does it? Well, let's see. Huh. I'm gonna get you to roll duel actually.
Okay.
So this person is actually they're actually below your scale.
Okay.
So
let's see. That does something funky with the duel move. It's been a while. I've never dueled anyone in this game of a lesser scale. So let me look at that part.
Well, we gonna see. You can just roll first, and then we'll look at that together.
That'll be fun.
Plus your style element
is earth. That will be +2. That is a 9.
Okay, so if your foe is lesser scale on a hit, you win the conflict. Def. Describe your awesomeness. On a 7 to 9, you may either let them go or finish them with a cost now or in the future. Oh, interesting. I'm assuming finish them means
Yeah, I think that means. I think he's going to let them go, and I think what
Well,
this
first of all, let's talk about your style, right?
his style is Thunder and Twilight. It involves swift and broad movements with the axe, and it also involves him making a lot of noise. Like, it is not a quiet martial art. So he is like, he's the axe when it swings, it makes that big heavy weapon whistle when it goes through the air, and Xiao Hu like grunts and growls and snarls like the whole time, like and so that this is loud, this is obnoxious, and there doesn't seem to be much artful about it, but it is, if you observe it long enough, it's a very controlled kind of thing, measuring exact strokes and how far the axe can go without leaving him exposed, and that sort of thing. So
yeah. So visually, this is probably like you like knock that sword out of this guy's hand, and he like is like, oh, and maybe there's a couple of where this there's a couple of moments where it's you like swinging at this guy and him like dodging out of the way left and right, and then you like just like breaking tables and carts and people being like, why?
Yes. I'm thinking there was a scene, the fight scene at the end of Big Trouble in Little China, where like the big dangerous villain martial artist is just running around smashing tables, and like you see like furniture flying from every direction as he's wading through. That's kind of how this looks to like every little tiny space in this market. It's like everywhere that guy dodges, somebody's table or cart gets destroyed.
Cool. And how do you spare his life? What does that look like?
I think he ends up tripping over one of the pieces of table after a while, because he's dodged around like 4 or 5 of these booths. Finally, he just trips over a piece of the table, lands flat on his back, and the axe like swings down and stops like right in front of his face. And I think at that point, I think Xiao Hu had actually looked back to see what Dancer of Loss was doing. And at that point, the guy just like scrambles off.
Yeah, and he definitely makes those like scrambling off sounds, like and like runs away into some back street. I want to say that because of all this commotion, that let's see, Perfected Starfall, that you didn't go far, right? Because you just had this conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. If so, you hear this, and then if you were, I don't know, how do you just like walk on the street, or do you like light foot away, like jumping from building to building kind of thing? Because you're good like that. You could.
Yeah, totally. No, I think I hear this commotion, and having trained with many-tempered Xiaohu, I know who it is. So I'm not really worried about the conflict. I'm just calmly walking back to see if any cleaning up needs to be done, or to see why they're making so much commotion out in the middle of nowhere. Since I believe Razor Eyes Gongsong was kind of like, hey, make sure he doesn't cause any more trouble, right? So
yes,
I think that's what I'm going back for.
Great. You walk back and you see you see you see someone run away into a side street. You see many-tempered Chao Hu hefting his giant axe. And you also see let's see. The love of your life in the middle of the street, hugging some lady? No, being hugged by some lady. I don't know if.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you, Kurt, do I recognize you as Gentleman Baoyin, or as your other alias? Like, how do I know you? Since you rejected me and I loved you, we obviously had something going on.
Yeah. So technically I'm only hiding my my identity from Desert Star, but
Oh.
Yeah, because that's what it says, right? It says
Yeah.
I'm hiding my identity from Desert Star.
I mean,
But-
many tempered who also doesn't know you. I
Yeah,
think we've
that's true.
established that.
So you probably know me as Gentleman Bao Yin.
And not as Dongfeng, which is your Nanfeng, which is your old
Nanfeng,
identity.
yeah, that's my given name. And I've probably been traveling as Gentleman Bao Yin as sort of because our clan fell, and so I've been trying to like just get around and not have all that baggage with me. And then I probably just tell people I'm in their clan when I meet them.
Great.
Yeah, that's
Go
the other
ahead.
thing I'm wondering is, are you wearing the Meteor Grace Clan emblem right now? Or do
Oh,
you have it,
100%.
like,
Yeah, it's like hanging. It would be under my shirt, but I'm definitely wearing it.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So you don't see that at first. You just see
Right.
him being hugged by some woman. How are you feeling? Are you feeling some inner conflict?
I did not know he was here. So yes, definitely. I think I should roll that.
Great. What are you rolling with?
I think I'm gonna roll with fire. It's passionate,
True.
which is my -1. That's a 9.
Oh, okay. Boy. So on a 7 to 9, you can either run away from the situation or you can mark the element until you make a change in the entanglement. do you wanna
So
do?
good. Nobody has seen me yet, so I think I'm literally gonna run away.
You can.
I'm literally gonna run away. I mean, this is not my thing. Like, I'm supposed to know everything that's going on and exactly how the situation's gonna end up before I even walk into it. So yeah, this is overwhelming. Perfected Starfall just turns and flees.
Visually, like, what is your expression? What are you like speed walking away and then like actually light footing?
Yeah, I think I duck behind one of these tables that has just like been flung towards me by the axe, and use it almost like as cover, like duck quickly behind a stall and then start light footing away. Like, and I've just got this. I go from kind of like a pleasant, nonchalant face to just ashen, fallen, shocked.
Oof. Great. So
Sorry, I think you're trying to bring us together, but
no, that's okay. I think that works totally well. Jenna Valian, your sister just suddenly tackles you out of nowhere. And it's like, Nanfeng, but she's like whispering this. She's like, Nanfeng, where have you been?
And I mean, I've been like, I'm exhausted from this fight and everything, and so I think I actually just give her a hug back because like I've kind of let go a little bit, right? And maybe that plays into the like showing my roots. So I hug her back and I whisper into her ear and I say, no, Gentleman Bao Yin, and I pull back and I said, I have been traveling. Pleasure. What was your name again?
And she just looks at you like your lying skills are garbage.
Obviously.
And she's like, it's me.
Yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. We must have met before. He's like saying this really loud, like
Yeah.
fooling no one.
Yeah, and she's like, okay, I am what? I'm your sister.
Yeah.
And she like comes up to you.
And he's like, shh, I know, but don't tell anyone. Like,
why can't I tell anyone?
Because I told them I was in. Like, if they know, then they'll know that I'm not who I said I was. I'm
Why are you
trying.
so ridiculous? Why are you lying about who you are?
You wouldn't understand.
And I want this to be also a situation where that dude that was fighting you, he's like leaning there and he like walks up and he's like, and And I want to say that both of you like turn around. It's like, listen, we're talking.
Can we get a minute?
And he's like, oh, sorry. He backs up. And she's like,
Look,
I don't
okay,
understand.
I have
First
to,
of all, what kind of a name is Bao Yin? Also, why?
I have to. You don't understand. People think that Mother was the Jade Serpent, and I have to prove that. Right?
What?
Right?
That's
I have to
ridiculous.
prove that it's not true. And so I have to find out who the Jade Serpent is. And to do that, I have assumed this identity that is ridiculous.
So should I have a different name as well?
Well, not unless. Does anyone here? I. People have seen you now. Do you know anyone here? How long have you been in this town?
Oh yeah, I know. She, I think this is the first time that she sees you, many temper Xiaohu, and she's like, um, and she like waves a little awkwardly, and she's like, I know him,
Oh,
and he knows who I am.
oh, good. It's so nice to meet you. He says again, really loud.
Yeah,
Such a friendly greeting.
yep. And she like slaps you really hard on the back. Nice to see you, friend.
And he's like exhausted for this fight, so he almost falls over.
She's like, oh gosh, and she comes to like, oh, make sure you don't fall. So many Charmer Shahu. Actually, before that, Graven Hunter. Okay, so this was a very quiet conversation, but you see this like random lady there as well.
Who is this? And I guess I direct that to General Bao Yin.
Actually, no, you know what? I changed my mind. I think what you see, instead of like, yes, you're like super tired, and you're just like resting, and then this other person is kind of also resting, and you're both sitting at like different broken down barrels. And you like, Professor Starfall, like, what kind of clothing do you usually wear? Do you always wear like very extravagant and luxurious clothing?
I think I wear expensive clothing, but it's modest. I don't want to look too high class, I guess. So I'm definitely not dressed as ostentatiously as Many Tempered Xiaohu.
So what's the color of your outfit?
I think it is like a gray instead of a silver. Maybe in my formal attire, I've got like this beautiful shiny silver dress, but I think this is more of just a subdued gray.
Right.
Yeah,
No one is as well dressed as
very
Xiaohu.
true.
Oh man. There must be a saying in the area that's like, no one is dressed as well as the emperor except for Mini Timber Xiaohu or some like really ridiculous thing like that. But Grave Hunter, you're like catching your breath and like trying to understand what's going on. Trying real hard to be a spy when you spot like a flutter of gray, and you see Perfected Starfall seemingly coming here to check out the situation. Freeze, duck behind a stall, and the freaking light went away.
Man, I think Graven Hunter's reaction would be to follow, I'm afraid to say. Or maybe not.
Oh man, you can hold on. Let me see you can totally do that.
Yeah.
So we'll have that scene, but before that, Major show. So this is a really weird and like ridiculously fake conversation that's going on between the love of your life and this rando man.
Yeah, I hear like they whisper, 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 and then he says something loud and ridiculous. And I'm somewhat relieved by this because, like, obviously she can't be in love with someone who's that much of a, not that much of that publicly an idiot. So obviously, so there must be something else going on because this dancer of loss, she could be with me. She obviously can't be in love with this goofball. Even though he, apparently was a very talented martial artist because he's been watching the whole fight from upstairs. But I think he like sort of puffs himself up a little, like picks up the axe, make it look like he didn't really put out much of an effort, even though he is like he's breathing a little hard too because Thunder and Twilight takes a lot out of you. There's a whole lot of action and destruction and waves of chaos that it generates. So he comes over with the axe over his shoulder and he says, "Dancer of Loss, I didn't realize you were here."
Yeah, I'm in town. So it's a big town. This is my friend. And she's clearly lying.
Old friend.
She's such
Old
a
friend.
bad liar.
Haven't seen each other in a very long time. We met traveling.
That's true.
Hey, well, any friend of Dancer of Losses is certainly a friend of mine. Perhaps we should, we've all obviously worked up a thirst. I can see that you have. I happen to have a room at the tavern. I need to name this tavern. I just haven't thought of something yet.
The fancy tea house or
Yeah.
this everybody's?
No, not the everybody thing. That's ridiculous. No. I paid well for that floor in that tea house.
Yes, you certainly do.
Or somebody did. Not necessarily him. It's not really his money yet, but it will.
Yeah, that Tiger Skin Guardian is the one shelling out the money for you. But she's like, yeah. Yeah, great. And she like leans in very close to you, Johanna Baoyin, and she's like, he was betrothed to you.
And like it clicks, right? And and he goes, "Hello. It's such a pleasure to meet you. I would love to join you in your tea house room." And then I look over for Graven Hunter to see if they're still there.
And Graven Hunter is gone.
And I'm gesturing and I'm like, "Oh, my friend would love to. Never mind. My friend is gone." And I look back to see, like, the people we were fighting, are they still there, or did they like run off?
They have slowly like lifted themselves off of whatever resting position they were in and are like just like slowly walking away.
Oh, good. It's just us. Excellent. Please lead the way.
Do you feel like you're going through some internal conflict?
Yeah, sure. That sounds like a thing I'm doing.
Huh. Okay, so what are you rolling with?
Let's see. Face to face with emotional turmoil. Oh man. Would this be presence?
Sure.
Let's pick my worst thing. Let's do that. That's going to be the one I want to roll for this because it'll be fun. Okay, let's delete those. Roll 2 new ones. Okay, so that's an 8 on the dice.
So
Minus
7.
1, so 7.
Okay, so on a 7 to 9, you must either flee the scene or mark an element until you make a change in the entanglement.
uh, okay. Yeah. So I think I tell them to lead the way, and like hold my hand out and just wait for them to go. And as they turn to go in, I just turn and run away.
That's great. Oh, I love that. And I'm pretty sure that Many Timber Xiaohu, you notice right away that this guy just runs away.
I think for a second, he like thinks about saying something, and then he's like, nah, I didn't really like that guy anyway.
And it's like that Goofy run too, with like the knees are too high, like he's just out of there.
Great. Okay, so I think this is a perfect time for us to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to come to this conversation between Graven Hunter and Perfected Starfall. Okay, so let's take 10. So come back at 5 to the hour.
So we got a bunny this weekend.
What?
And it's the cutest thing.
What color is it?
It's
What
like
colors?
white and brown. Like its feet are white, and a lot of its body is white, but then like it's got a lot of brown on its back, with like the splotchy different brown spots everywhere.
That sounds adorable.
That does
It's
sound
super cute.
adorable. Please send pics.
Yes.
Okay, so now that everyone is back, I want to have the scene between Game Hunter and Perfectus Starfall. So, I mean, okay. So first of all, Perfectus Starfall is really rapidly light footing out of here, and you, Graven Hunter, are still recovering from this not physically dangerous, but definitely physically strenuous fight. So, I don't think this is an easy thing to do.
Well, if it helps any, I mean, I imagine that I am. So I'm chasing after Perfected Starfall, and I still have that bucket on my foot. And I mean, it's just sort of the opposite of elegant. You know, the opposite of 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 appealing, or I don't know. There's got to be better adjectives, but I
Yeah,
think
I mean, and I think this is definitely not an easy thing to do. Well, actually, I'm gonna ask, Perfected Starfall, are you cool with Graven Hunter possibly catching up to you?
I just imagine this like gonging sound every time you like leap. Perfected Starfall looks back, and
Oh, that's good. Okay, so I think the answer is yes. So I'm gonna get you to roll Overcome to see how well you succeed at doing this. And again, choose an element that you'll be rolling with.
oh man. I mean, it would be fire again, but I've already checked that, right?
Yes.
Can I roll with that again?
No.
No. Geez. Yeah, I guess water. I mean, would sort of be the next closest, because he's certainly not with caution and not under control, and or patiently. So, excuse me. So it's a 2. Which is kind of
Yes.
perfect, right?
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna get you to mark that as well.
Sure.
Mark water. You miss. Your attempt fails in a terrible way. What happens? Okay. Let me double check.
So Eduardo, how do you think we know each other? Like, you love me, but my only relationship to you is that my friend accused you of something.
You know, as I try to sort of imagine Graven Hunter, sort of fill out the empty spots, perhaps, admiration from afar. I mean, too, too shy, too, bashful to actually ever approach, Perfected Starfall. And, the times that he has, it's been like this. You know what I mean? This is sort of perfect. There's always something. It's the bucket on the foot. It's stumbling over things. It's causing major accidents.
Right.
That kind of.
I also realized. I realized that I forgot. Well, we both forgot about when you fight against foes or mooks about your hidden move. Oh, we could have used that. But it's fine because I think what happens in this situation is there's something about the way that you're stumbling here. Yeah, that bucket is the perfect metaphor for Graven Hunter in general. um, I there's something about the speed at which you're catching up, despite being very winded, and also this having a bucket on you, that it gives I think that gives Perfected Starfall something suspicious about you just being a normal night watch person who doesn't know martial arts. Right? That would make sense, right?
Yeah, no, that does. I agree.
Okay, so Perfected Starfall. What is the specific thing that maybe gives you a hint that Graven Hunter is not exactly how he has been presenting himself?
I think just I imagine this moment where the bucket, has tripped him up, and he does this like beautiful snake-like roll and rebound off of a roof to continue to pursue me, and it's just way beyond the skill of a humble low-level warrior, I should say. Like it's something that you would train years and years to be able to anticipate. So
So do you like stop to talk to him? Are you
I,
now suspicious and trying to figure him out?
yeah, I think as soon as Graven Hunter stumbles, I'll stop out of concern at first, but then I see this beautiful recovery, and so now it's almost like I have two reasons to kind of return and see what's going on here.
Okay. So, yes. So this is the hidden move. I don't know if this is a little early. Whatever. You can resolve this. So if another PC tries to pierce your disguise, hidden, Graven Hunter, resolve that as a PC versus PC duel. So that's a part of your background.
Sounds awesome.
So
yeah,
I
let's
like
give it a shot.
Yeah, I like this as you. So again, a PC versus PC duel is one PC offers the other one. This is a meta thing. Um, you can offer unspent experience points. You can offer narrative things that can happen. For example, that your character would do, in order for the other person to accept that you're winning in this situation. And I think this is definitely Graven Hunter. You are the one making that offer for perfect perfect Starfall to not pierce your disguise.
Okay, can I state that back at you just to make sure I understood it? So I'm
Yes.
going to offer up something that will, essentially hint at, or will, prove that Perfecto Starfall has not pierced the veil.
Yes. That it'll divert her suspicion for now. So yeah, if you look on the basics moves tab, there's the PC versus PC duel, which explains the mechanics of this game way better
I don't
than
know.
what I've just said.
I feel like you're trying to offer me something, and then if I accept, you will remain hidden, but I get the thing that you're offering. So it's like a trade-off or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just looking at it right now as I kind of digest this all. Follow through on the offer. Put a single offer on the table if the other player accepts. Okay. So I guess as I'm trying to imagine this, picking up where you left off, Joshua, perhaps perhaps we see Graven Hunter, oh gosh, there's that scene from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon where they're on the trees and they just have it's supernatural balance. And so, perhaps, Graven Hunter is also exhibiting, he's scaling a wall and walking along these, delicate roof tiles, with the bucket on his foot. And yes, once again, just exhibiting this amazing balance, not breaking any of the tiles. And I guess maybe the thing to offer that sort of grounds, Graven Hunter is, is a stumble, right? And he, falls. It's sort of, he is going to fall unless there's some sort of graceful save. Does that make sense, or is that not far enough?
No, you need to tangibly offer something. For example, um, yeah, actually, what do you think you would want from Graven Hunter, Perfector Starfall?
So I don't know if I would know this, but the only thing that comes to mind is for, because it mentions changing entanglements. So I wonder if you could offer that Graven Hunter would call off your revenge against Sour Sadness Bear. Or that kind of gets rid of like a fun thing we could play with later, though. The other thing I was thinking is maybe you would offer up some information that you know about Dongfeng. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of.
And then I'll add another option to this. Well, I had time to think about it. So I don't know if Perfectus Starfall knows. Yeah. Yeah, Perfectus Starfall doesn't seem to know that you have very strong feelings for. So if you were to choose to really kind of like lay your feelings bare in this situation, that could be another offer. So instead of revealing yourself in one way, you're revealing yourself in another. Both very emotionally vulnerable.
Yeah. I'm just trying to play with the Sour Sadness Bear. I don't want to give up that one yet, but I had been thinking the same thing, Agatha. Just going over this one last time, just to think, gosh, there's some cool thread that I can pull on, but yeah, I mean, it feels like that's the obvious one to go to. Is where, as you said, Graven Hunter, basically just sort of lays it bare, for perfected Starfall.
Okay, Perfectus Starfall, do you accept
I
this
will
offer?
accept this offer of unexpected knowledge.
Excellent. Okay. Okay, so you get to mark XP through the PC versus PC duel, and that's for you, Perfectus Starfall.
Okay.
So now let's have this scene of you. Okay, so first of all, I want to see what it looks like of Perfectus Starfall. It showing that she's suspicious, and then I want this declaration from Graven Hunter.
Yeah, so I think Perfected Starfall, pushes off of the corner of one of these buildings and goes flying back towards Graven Hunter. At first to try to catch him from falling, since they know each other and she doesn't want any harm to befall him. But then she sees this recovery, and so she reaches into her dress and almost like pulls out one of her stars, just in case, and almost goes to kind of throw it to test him a little bit, to see if he's going to dodge it or deflect it or something. And then I imagine she sees something or hears something from Graven Hunter that stops her.
Yeah. Gosh. I think that Graven Hunter would probably react to that with I mean, the only thing that's coming to mind is like, it's almost like but wait, uh, you know,
Or do you just take the hit, but angle it so that it's not like really devastating? Right? But then
I mean,
you have, if you were to have yourself bleeding, that would seem like, oh, does not know martial arts.
Oh, we could even have one of those moments like, why were you following me? Kind of,
Totally.
sure. Yeah. I mean, yes, I think, I keep going, I hate to say it, Jerry Lewis, when I think about Graven Hunter in anything related to sort of, fire moves. Or, and it's almost like a inadequacy. It's almost sort of like a fumbling, I guess, fool in trying to, yeah, have sort of like a social moment. No social graces whatsoever,
Cool.
Um,
And how do you, what are you saying to reveal your feelings?
I think Raven Hunter would say something to the effect of, um, I think I said earlier that I have admired you from afar for so long and just have not had you know the words or the elegance to uh, to um, approach you and put it all into sort of like a you know a cogent thought.
Yeah, the bucket clanks.
Yes.
um, she looks down because I assume you're almost like either crouched or sprawled out on the rooftop at this point, and she says, "Oh, I have always considered you a loyal friend. I have great admiration for you as well." And then I offer a hand to help him up.
That's great. Um, did I get you to roll inner conflict?
I don't think we have, no.
So you got friend zoned. How do you feel?
Uh, you know, devastated, but Graven Hunter's been here many times before, and he's a resilient. He is resilient, with a capital R.
Alright, fair enough.
It's
So, what does this look like visually as an expression?
I think I think we see just the expression melt, uh, and he's just sort of looking for anything visually that would allow him to say something to the effect of but there's a chance.
Great. And do you take her hand to stand up?
I think no, and I think Raven Hunter would probably see that as sort of like a a sign of weakness, maybe, and he stands up on his own, he puffs his chest out, he still has the bucket on his foot. You know what I mean? And it's like he tries to sort of puff himself up a bit, and again, it goes back to this: I'm resilient. I can handle this.
Okay. And I- you're like on these random rooftops, and I think, Professor Starfall, you're like, and you just found out about things about this guy, and suddenly, like, I think Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Okay, so I think it's like from several rooftops over. Um, someone is like, perfected starfall, and you see that it's Sour Sadness Bear. But now we're gonna go to, I guess this. You went into the tea house with a Dancer of Loss, Many Timber Xiaohu.
Yes, he leads her up the stair to the big floor that I'm guessing it's like maybe like a mezzanine floor, like you can sort of look down on everybody else because, of course. And he calls this tiger skin guardian to get them some fresh tea.
Yeah, Tiger Skin Guardian is just like,
He offers the tea to Dancer of Loss. So, Dancer, what has brought you to this town? Surely you're not here for this jade serpent business.
and she turns around and she suddenly realizes that Gentleman Volume has left, and she's like, uh, uh, no.
Oh, your friend left. I presumed he wanted to go grab something. I don't know. He ran off as soon as we came into the tea house.
Yeah, he's allergic to tea. Um, and
that is truly sad. I can see why he would not want to appear here and acknowledge such a horrible affliction publicly. That would be terrible.
yeah, it's really sad. And again, she's like lies are just falling out of her mouth.
And they're terrible ones, and Zhao Hu knows they're terrible, but he's perfectly happy to accept them just so she sit here and have tea.
Yeah, she looks like really antsy, like she actually wants to leave. But she's like, guess my bro has screwed me over. And she's like, how have you been?
Oh, I've been doing fairly well. We do our best. We had come here to attempt to basically deal with this Jade Serpent business for the Meteor Grace clan, and we're in the process of sorting out how to deal with that. It's more complicated than I initially would have thought.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has been talking about this Jade Serpent thing. Like, have you heard anything?
The only thing I've heard is that supposedly this individual, whoever they are, is making a show of giving up their life of their life of crime and insurrection, and are simply laying down their arms and making a big public show of walking away. It sounds like nonsense to me. It's obviously some sort of plot for something else, but it may be a way for us to it may present us the opportunity to deal with this disreputable individual, as they should be.
I see. So the Meteoric Grace clan have plans of doing something to the Jade Serpent?
No, I mean, doing something that sounds so unwholesome. No, we simply plan on bringing this individual to justice as the justice they should face. Make it sound like we like hiring assassins. That's crazy. As he suddenly thinks, "Wow, we should hire assassins. That would get me out of that fight."
And she's like, but you don't. What if the rumors about them are not necessarily true.
That would certainly be a surprise, but I mean, the rumors are so consistent. I mean, I don't. I mean, I'm sure, of course, they are rumors. They could be wrong. That would be part of us attempting to sort out what's going on. Although all of the rumors I have heard so far have been that this person is a dangerous criminal.
I see.
But we're in the process of trying to sort a lot of that out. I would hope that if what you're saying is correct, that this jade serpent is not the person who they've been portrayed as, that they would be willing to publicly announce such a thing and allow the truth to speak for itself.
So you'll investigate this? And she like grabs your hand with hers.
Yes, he announces immediately without really thinking about it. Just with that gesture, like, yes. And he has no idea what that means or how he's going to do that at all.
That's great. Thank you. I really appreciate this.
Certainly. Would you like me to me to let you know when we have made any sort of discovery of this nature? I mean, we can if you'd like to, I'll be staying at the tea house the whole time we're here. So if you'd like to just stop in and have tea, and I can certainly give you an update on what progress we've made at any point.
Of course. Yes, I would.
Wonderful. Have more tea. And he like pours more tea.
Thank you. This is very good tea.
This is the best tea house in town.
And she's like taking a sip, and she pauses and is like, by the way, you're still engaged to my brother, right?
I still have not seen them. I have no idea since the unfortunate incident. The families have not had any contact. You are the only person who I've had any consistent contact with since everything happened, and I don't know. As far as I know, that arrangement still stands, but I've had no other contact. I don't. There's been no. How these things have to be officially done, and I have had no, since the initial announcement, I've had no official notice that the arrangement has been changed. So I don't know. Have you heard anything? Because the families operate at so many different levels. I simply have been trying to deal with this, and I have not heard any additional information about Nanfeng or any of the arrangements that had been made.
Yeah, she looks a little disappointed when you're like, the engagement is still stands, but then she's like, he's a very lovely person. I'm sure you'll like him.
I would hope so. I mean, where is he? Like, we've still never met.
He'll show up.
No. If he does, I suppose we'll make sure everything is still in order as it was set up. I mean, there are certain things we always do. There's certain things all of us must do for the family sometimes. And he sips.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of the brother, John Valiant, where did you go?
So I have two ideas, and I'm not sure which one is best for this session and which one is best for next session. One, he definitely would probably go to the bar to try to meet up with the guy. But then again, he kind of got his information, so there's that. He also really wants to go and try to have like one night with Desert Star before, because he feels like his facade is like it's going to crack any second, and she's going to figure out who he is and his obligations, and so he definitely wants to do that too. So but that's my other entanglement, which we are not technically highlighting, so I don't know if that's something that should go next session.
Oh, I mean, if you hit it, you still get experience for it.
Oh, it's just the experience thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so then he would go and he'd probably go clean himself up, and then track down Desert Star, and try to like whisk her out for a night, under the stars or something.
Right. Oh, also both your. Oh, okay. Your romantic one is that you rejected Perfector Starfall. Okay. Okay.
But I love
great.
Desert Star, and Desert Star likes Perfected Starfall.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Okay, so I think you can totally find Desert Star at the same.
Oh, that inn?
Yeah, the same inn. She seems to be staying there. I don't know if did we say that she's a part of the Meteor Grace clan?
I think so, because she was surprised to find out that I was a member of the Meteor Grace clan.
Okay. So maybe instead yeah, I mean, you can still find her. I think it's like if you were to head back towards where you were staying at the inn, you'll also run into her, and she's wearing the Meteor Grace clan like clothing. Actually, I think aside from like the badge that they have, they also if you're like if you've joined it and like are studying under the Meteor Grace clan, you probably have some kind of outfit as well, right? Like
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that you would like have robes or something that sort of fits with your
and I'm gonna ask for Professor Starfall, like, is there some kind of does everyone wear gray? Is that a thing?
I kind of like the idea of it just being like a silver sash that they have to wear over whatever clothing they've got.
Yeah. I love
and it's
that.
got the symbol on it, you know.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so yeah, so she's before she wasn't wearing that, but this time she's wearing a little more, I don't know, like her usual outfit, but with the silver stash as well. And then she just seems to have like kind of put herself together, and it's like hurrying back towards the inn.
So I think before I go track her down, I sort of like, because I'm fairly new to this city, I go and find like a spot, with some like that, that one cherry blossom or whatever that, and then like where there would be a view of the stars and stuff like that. And so I like scope out a place, and then I go find her.
Great. Okay, yeah, you can totally find. Oh, I think there's a place that's not necessarily in the city, but it's like one of the hills that's right by it's like at the foothill of the mountains.
So it would like maybe overlook the place where I was told this meeting is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
We can have that as the backdrop.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
so
cool.
Romantic.
Yeah. So he'll find her and then try to like sneak up, like get in front of her path, and just like be leaning there, looking cool, as she walks past, and she's, Desert Star, I didn't know when I was going to see you again.
Oh, hi. Hi. Gentleman Bobby. I mean, we're staying at the same inn, so this is nice.
Right, yeah. I forgot about that. That's it's such a beautiful day. How are you faring? Are you doing well?
I guess I am. Yeah, I could be well. Yes, actually, I'm doing great.
Oh, good. Listen. It's been so long. I'd really like to catch up. Would you want to go for a walk with me?
Yeah, sure.
Um, and so he'll sort of like just start walking as if he doesn't know where he's going, but like intentionally go to that place.
Yeah, and she like kind of wanders with you, and she's like, "So, how long have you been a part of the Meteor Grace clan for?"
Oh, yes. Well, that's actually a very interesting story. I was so in fiction. Can you just join a clan if you like impress someone, or do you have to be born into the clan?
No, you can totally join it if you
Okay.
impress someone.
Yeah. Okay. So well, I mean, I've been traveling for some time, and I was in this smaller village, and a member of the clan was traveling through, and um, they were overrun by some local banditry, and I was able to defend them. I mean, I some of the bandits got away. I didn't want to hurt any of them, but I was able to protect them and keep them safe. And they offered to let me travel with them. So we traveled the countryside. We saw many towns, and when we eventually had to part ways, they suggested that if I was ever in this area, that I would be a welcome member of the Meteor Grace clan. And
Wow.
they gave me this medallion as a symbol to show if I were to come here.
Wow.
This is
That's
total
very
bullshit.
cool. Yeah, that's she's like, "Whoa. Wow, so you must be very powerful then."
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I was fortunate to be there. My s- my I had an upper hand. You see, my the style I was trained in as a young man was counter to theirs, and uh, fortunately, they were not prepared when we met. I sort of lucked into the whole thing, really,
Right?
but I did
So
become quite good friends with them.
so okay, so you came here and you know Meteor Grace Clan. So do you know Perfected Starfall?
Yes. I am I am I'm aware of perfected starfall. We've had encounters in the past.
Isn't she so great? And this is when you like come up to the hill.
Yeah. Um so is this am I is inner conflict happening, or
How do you feel? I mean,
uh well, this is like the perfect place, and I am revealing a trap that I have set. Can I reveal a trap to like seduce is the wrong word, but to try to make someone fall in love with you,
what
to
you
sort
what
of like try to encourage a relationship?
interesting. I'm gonna say no.
No. Okay.
I don't think revealing a trap is necessarily the right Actually, let me see. Let me see House of Traps. If a trap you've left for someone on a hit. Uh, interesting. I feel like I kind of want to say yes, actually, because that's very interesting. That's a very
It's
interesting
it's more
use of
like a
that move.
romantic picnic I've laid, right?
Right, right. So it's like a surprise.
Yeah, because it would give me +2 forward against them. But if it fails, then it's like, they obviously know what's happening here, and it goes wrong.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna give you that. Why don't you roll for that?
Sure. Let's see. So,
What are you rolling with?
well, I mean, let's see. So is preparation one of these? I don't think it is, but patience is.
Are you sure it's not creativity and passion?
Oh yeah, it's definitely fire. Okay, let's roll fire. Okay. Okay, so an 8 on the dice, and 0 bonus, so it's an 8.
Great. Okay. On a
So-
hit, your your opponent trips into it and you get an opening.
Oh,
This
okay.
is so interesting. Because the opening is like narrative positioning.
Right.
I wonder I wonder if we could do this like a literal thing where she like literally trips. Well, like because she like whatever it is that you've laid out, you definitely get to describe it.
Yeah.
But like maybe she like catches a glimpse of it and she's like, "What?" And then she just trips. It's a
So
show.
yeah. So I think it's there's like there's a basket with wine and some food there, and there are like there's like a blanket laid out under this little under this tree that like perfectly frames the like mountain over here and the like stars over here, and I think she literally trips over the basket. And the opening is I'm gonna catch her and like dip in and go, oh my god, are you all right? I'm so sorry. I didn't. I should have warned you. I may have been to this place before, briefly. I I have to say your eyes are very beautiful.
And she's like really wide-eyed and like uh um th- thank you. And she like
And then
tries
I'll
to
like
stand up.
quickly try to set like either like help her back up or set her down, whatever she wanted.
Yeah. And then she like moves back and she's like, um, wow, this is, um, it, yeah, it's great.
Um,
This view is, um,
you were saying something though. I interrupted you. I'm so sorry.
I, and she's just like recovering. Um, yes, I was. Oh, a perfected starfall. We were
Right.
talking about perfected starfall.
Yes. Um, how what was it that you wanted to know about Perfected Starfall?
Oh, I was just, well, I was saying how amazing she is and how beautiful she is.
Nothing
And
compared to you though.
no, no, I can't compare. There's no one as beautiful as her.
Oh,
Honestly.
I disagree. I think you are much more beautiful than she is.
And she like takes a look at like the picnic and like the basket and she's like, is this are you
And he like pulls a grape or whatever out and he's
all right? I want to make sure that I'm not misunderstanding this situation. And I apologize if I am.
he, he takes her hand if she'll give it, and he says, I wouldn't want you to misunderstand anything. I just want to spend some time with you.
And she like well like she freezes and I think it's like maybe this is like the first time that this has ever happened to her before. So it's like it seems like she just like doesn't know how to handle the situation, but she's like, uh, oh, okay. And she like slowly pulls her hand away, and she's like, yeah.
I've overstepped, haven't I? I'm sorry. I should roll inner conflict now.
Yeah, I think you should. What are you rolling with?
Oh, whatever the worst one is. Oh, definitely fire though. Yeah, fire. All right, so let's see. Oh god, I rolled 21 dice. No, oh no, I didn't. There we go. Oh, okay. That's a 6.
Oh,
What happens
okay.
when I fail on this?
That's great. Okay, so
Flee the scene.
no. First of all, I need to know, like, what exactly are you like feeling inner conflict about?
Well, now he's starting to worry that like she doesn't feel the same way that he does, that he's like he's making a fool of himself. Even if this went well, like what does he do tomorrow when his identity is revealed?
Great. So as this moment gets more and more awkward, she is like, and so, um, this is very beautiful. I'm in love with someone else. I'm sorry. And she like stumbles back and then is like, I'm sorry. And like just like turns around and it's like walking away.
Yeah. So he's gonna drink that bottle of wine and stare at the mountain and think about how it's all gonna be bad tomorrow. And maybe you should go let Perfected Starfall know that she's got an admirer.
Okay, Perfected Starfall and Graven Hunter. So you both see Sour Sadness Bear kind of waving at the both of you, and then seeing you, Graven Hunter, and being like, oh. But still, she's gonna hop over using her also amazing Lightfoot.
I think I'm waving her over. Sour Sadness Bear, so wonderful to see you. I know you know Graven Hunter. We were just having a discussion up here. Where we have some peace and quiet.
A discussion. And she like looks at you, Graven Hunter, like, you gonna explain?
Graven Hunter doesn't hide his distaste. Just sort of says, "Sour Sadness Bear," almost as if it were an insult. You know what I mean? Just sort of like almost just sort of dripping with, dislike.
Yeah, Perfect as Starfall. I'm very happy to see you. Shall we go?
Yes, I do need to be on my way. Graven Hunter, did you have something you needed to talk with me about before I leave?
Oh
And
no.
Sour Sadness Bear is like crossing her arms.
I think our business is finished for the time. Perfected Starfall. Until the next time.
I think she looks at you very pointedly and says, thank you for speaking with me and sharing what you shared. And then she turns to walk off.
Yeah, and Sarah Sanis Bear like turns around to like she's like walking off with Professor Starfall, but she turns around to look at you, Graven Starfall. Oh no, sorry, Graven Hunter, and she's like, "Do you gesture back?"
I mean, I think the only thing he's got left in his arsenal is just sort of the steely gaze. Just there's no comeback left. I think
Oh
this is the
man.
low point for Graven Hunter right now.
Yeah, and yes, at times, yeah, Graven
Yes.
Hunter has had a long day.
I'm not sure how it could get worse. I'm sure we could think of a couple ways, but
Oh man. Well, I feel like as the person running this game that is always a challenge. Yeah, so you're kind of like and one of the messenger doves flies down towards you.
oh, I extend my arm to receive the messenger dove.
Mm. And we are going to actually cut to the conversation between Professor Starfall. So Sarasatis Bear is she's like walking beside you and she's just staring at you.
Our sadness bear, there have never been words lost between us. Share with me what is on your mind.
What did Graven Hunter say to you?
I think he was in a fight earlier, and I think something got to his head. I got the impression he was trying to profess feelings for me, but that's ridiculous. I've known him for too long, and we're just friends.
He was in a fight?
Yes, on the street, just a few stalls over.
That man doesn't know how to fight.
That's what I thought. I mean, I wasn't there for the whole fight. I just saw the end of it. He looked exhausted, so who knows how it went down.
You choose the worst people to trust.
No, no. I know that you and Graven Hunter have this I don't know what it is, feud that goes back
It's not a
many
feud.
years.
Okay? I love people. I don't have feuds with people. He's not. He's very shady.
That's just the way he is, you know? I mean, he's always been like that. You can't hold someone's personality against them.
Even if their personality leans towards bad ends.
Sour Sadness Bear, I know we've spoken about this before, but I've never seen anything bad come out of Graven Hunter.
Yes,
He's
because he
always
always hides his.
Look, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I haven't seen it myself. And I don't want to judge him on secondhand information.
Oh, you don't trust me?
No. I do. It's just I mean, how would you feel if the tides were turned and he was saying bad things about you?
Oh, he does. I don't care. I know the truth.
And I don't know the truth is the problem.
I have seen him multiple times receive these unknown messages from these doves that I can't catch. And you know I'm very fast.
Yes. You're faster than me.
Yes, that's the only thing I have over you. But anyway, that's beside the point. These freaking doves they are trained. They're not normal. He's not if he was in a fight and he's unscathed, and he is unscathed because he's not bleeding, and he doesn't have any internal injuries, clearly he's not what he seems to be.
Yeah, you have a point. I'll tell you what. Let's assume you're right. You've always been my closest friend. I'll look into it. How about we look into it together, more closely? Do you have
Yes.
any suggestions?
Yes. We're going to tail him.
Tail him. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, considering how he pursued me, I don't think that should be a problem.
So did he profess his feelings to you?
Yeah, isn't that weird? I was caught off guard. I was already flustered a bit myself. Gentleman Bao Yin is here.
No way! Oh! And
Look,
she
I
kind of
don't want to talk
elbows
about
you.
it, okay?
Well, why are you with Graven Hunter and not Gentleman Bao Yin? I mean, you know.
I was overwhelmed. You know how I get in moments of, involving feelings. I'm not good with that kind of thing. I am ashamed to say I fled. But he didn't see me, so it's okay.
No. I think okay, before we tail Graven Hunter, you should go have a conversation with Gentleman Bao Yin first. Or else you will never have a conversation with him and will only look at him longingly from pagodas. Gosh.
Yeah. You're right. I need to just put my caution aside. I mean, I can face the greatest foes with ease. Why not just this one small moment?
Mm-hmm.
Go speak with Gentleman Bao Yin.
Mm-hmm.
You're right, of course. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am. I believe in you. And then I feel like with this, like, you're both kind of like facing the wind, and then she's like, yes. And you're like, yes. I feel like that's where we end this session.
Perfect.
Okay. Jeez. Oh man, this has been a rough day for some of you. Oh,
I'm gonna have to take notes.
yeah.
A lot happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was writing notes in the character keeper from last session. I'm gonna definitely have to do that again.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just go straight into stars and wishes because got 6 minutes left. Let's see. Okay. My I have a bad habit of going either from left to right on the character keeper or right to left on the character keeper. I'm gonna try to branch out from that. So let's start with you, Chris.
Okay. Do you want me to give stars first and then go back around for wishes, or just give stars and wishes all together?
What did we do? We did them together last time, right? Let's just let's do them together.
Okay. For stars, like this was so gloriously messed up this session. I loved it. Just everybody just leaned into the wacky the wacky romantic entanglements, and I thought it was great. I love the interplay between Perfected Starfall and Xiaohu. I thought that was fun. I enjoyed the little bit of fight we got in the little marketplace, and I liked how that led into all the inner conflicts for everybody. I thought that worked out really really well, and I kind of want to see more of that sort of stuff. More of these sort of like interplay things with inner conflicts going back and forth for various reasons. That's where this thing is singing for me right now, is like basically having everybody, like, every time they turn their head and see something different, like, oh no, it's that person who is in who I have some other screwed up relationship with. That was great. As far as wishes for next time, more of the highlights. I think Shahu kind of got both of his in this time, so that was pretty cool. He got the little bit with perfected starfall, and he ended up almost accidentally because Gentleman Bao Yin blew that inner conflict roll and ran away. He ended up also getting like romantic entanglements stuff highlighted with with Dancer of Loss, which was pretty cool.
Oh my gosh, right. You just reminded me that wow. Yeah, that we're supposed to that's what I was forgetting. That we were supposed to do the entanglements for the experience that I kept referring to. Yes. Great. Thank you, Chris, for reminding me. Let's very briefly. I feel like I'm always interrupting you to be like, no, but before that, let's do mechanics. So sorry. We will come back to your wish. But first, let's do entanglements. Let's very quickly go through to see if we hit the highlighted or the unhighlighted entanglement. So if you hit your highlighted one, you get 3 experience points, and then if you hit the non-highlighted one, you get 1. That's how that works. So let's start with you, Joshua.
I feel like I hit both of these because of the inner conflict with Gentleman Bao Yin. We didn't talk a whole lot about the crime, but still got some good interaction with both those. And then there at the end with the Sour Sadness Bear conversation. So
great. Yes. So take those experience points. Gentlemen. Oh nope. Kurt.
Yeah, I think I hit both.
Yeah.
The Desert Star rejected thing, and then my hidden identity because of my engagement both came up.
Yep. Great. Chris.
Do you get
Oh, go
XP
ahead.
on a fail? On failed rolls on this one, or is it just on the things?
So yeah, I think the way that LoL has been doing it is that for the shorter games, then yes, you do both get experience on a fail, and you also get them when you roll inner conflict. Yeah, we can.
Or is it just intercom? I just noticed other people had some XP before the end of session, and I was still at 0, and I wasn't sure if I missed something.
Yeah, why don't we say let's go with that. Why not? Yeah, so you can. So sorry. If you can remember, like how many times you feel like you failed, or because I think Kurt, you failed like once or twice.
At least once on the inner conflict.
Yeah. So and then you also get an experience for rolling inner conflict as well. Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna stay with the game as like a final mechanic, but we can go with that for now. It's fine. Okay, so we hit those. Chris?
I think I hit both of mine. I definitely hit the one with perfected starfall. For we did that little interaction between us. And I think we hit I think I hit the romantic entanglement almost by accident at the very end. So
yeah,
I think I ended up hitting both of them this time.
Okay, cool. Oh, I gotta bring Harmonious out next time. So many NPCs. Okay. Eduardo?
I think I hit on both of these. I did have a question also about failing too, and if I should mark off XP for each of the 2 failures that I had.
Yes, do that.
Cool.
And then also, I think you rolled. Yeah, you rolled inner conflict. So okay, great. So we have all of these covered. Sweet. I think that's it. Oh, okay. And then like before the start of next session, someone please remind me because I may forget. We will look at the entanglements again and see if they're still relevant, and if they're not, then we can change them. Okay, so let's go back to let's go back to stars and wishes. So Chris, let's hear your wish.
My wish is like More like this. All of the entanglements and interplay and the fights sort of happening in between those. I thought that just worked out perfectly. So more like this.
Okay, yeah, I wrote that down as interplay of inner conflict and fights, and I think we'll understand what that means next time, hopefully. Okay, let's. Who should Eduardo?
I mean, I would agree with Chris that yeah, it's like when we're mixing together that it feels like this thing's hitting like on all cylinders. And so more of that, you know, and then just again, just for the sake of being succinct, I would also agree with Chris that I mean. It was really a pleasure just watching everybody play through those scenes and interact with each other, and the fight scene was also pretty cool and very cinematic too. I mean, it feels like even for a novice such as myself, that it's like I could totally see sort of like oh gosh, those elements that are familiar to me, I guess is what I'm trying to say, of wuxia film that I've seen. Does that make sense? Cool.
Yeah. Okay, and your wish is more melodrama and fights? Is that?
Yes, I did it in reverse order, if you could forgive me.
That's fine.
But that is the gist of it, yes.
Okay. Cool. Joshua?
Stars, I just am really loving everyone's characters. I think they're all so different, and everyone's doing such a good job of making them feel like unique and, very, I guess, characterful, for the lack of a better word. I really enjoyed having scenes with Eduardo and Chris, like kind of one-on-one, to kind of establish our relationships a bit. So I'm looking forward to that. I guess that's my wish, is a scene with Gentleman Baoyin, which I don't think we can avoid anyway. So, and then I'll give a star to you, Agatha, for I love all your NPCs. They're just really like melodramatic and adding a lot to the flavor of the scenes. So, yep.
Sweet. Okay. Thank you. Also, okay, the wish is seen between Perfect Starfall and Gentleman Baoyin. Yes. I'm glad you said something very specific, so next time we will for sure probably start with that. I don't know. We'll see. Kurt?
All right. So yeah, stars to everybody. Everybody did a really good job. I love Graven Hunters is just a bucket. It's like a clanging bucket on a foot. Like that's perfect. I want more. Well, I guess this is a wish, so I'll save that. I want to I want to give a star, Agatha. Like you are killing it with these NPCs. The little scene with Desert Star was so good, and I'm glad that he failed, and it was super awkward, because that was way more interesting than if it had worked. Because now he's gonna have like a bunch of stuff to think about when we have with my wish, which is a scene with Perfected Starfall. So I'm super looking forward to that scene when he has to decide if he's going to wingman Desert Star or try to steal Perfected Starfall is out of spite. So yeah. And that scene with everybody, like the fight scene and then everybody showing up and but who and all that was perfect. So just more of that.
Cool. Okay. Interplay between fights and feels. Okay. Got it. Oh man. Yeah, I have stars too. I feel like everyone definitely really brought their A game. I love I love playing with the Gauntlet people anyway, and y'all's are great. I really like the way that y'all's keep saying yes and to like any kind of like narrative pitches, for example, that I give or each other. Like you really build off of each other, and that was super awesome. I also really enjoyed the fight scene between well, the fight scene was just convenient because I was able to finally bring it all together. But I also really enjoyed the kind of comedic tone of it, where it was like fighting and then getting really tired. that like that kind of like visual, it was really fun for me to see how it was like it started off really ominous and then it ended off uh a little less so maybe. I'm really excited. Wait, is that a wish? No, let's stick with stars. So my star for you, Kurt, is on rolling a fail. Does that work? No, I'm kidding. No, I really like all of the scenes actually with Gentleman Bao Yin in it. I like your characterization of him. Like he's kind of sneaky, but in a fun way. I like the part when you were like he runs away and you described him as like running with the knees up. And that was cool. I like the relationship that he has with his sister. I think that's very interesting. They seem very close, and they seem to really care for each other. And this will not be a problem at all in the future with Many Xiao who still doesn't know the situation, which I also love. I loved that everyone played along with that misunderstanding. And I also love that this is for you, Chris. I love how you're just like Miniature Michelle, who just like is like I don't care about this person who is very close to the love of my life. Is that a lot of confidence? I'm not sure, but I was into it. Yeah, and I think my star goes to all of the moments where all the inner conflicts were rolled. That was very fun. Yeah, that I feel like inner conflict and fights and declaring details is kind of what makes this game sing. So I was glad that everyone was able to have that moment and multiple people ran away, which I love. I love it when characters run away because this is so real. Realistic. Sometimes people are just like, I'm not gonna deal with my emotions and peace out instead. So Joshua, I want to give you that star for just being like, nope. Yes, you brought me to the scene, but I'm just gonna leave. That was really great, and I feel like because it also gave us an opportunity to have that scene between Graven Hunter and Perfectus Starfall. Man, these names are such a mouthful, and I can never remember them correctly. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. Eduardo, I want to give you a star for really playing up the comedy of Graven Hunter. I like how you're playing him as like he is very serious, but all of the situations that he's in is very comedic. I'm really enjoying that. I also I was really into that bucket. And I'm also looking forward to you trying to clear your stats, your elements, because they are getting marked. So someone support and comfort. Someone support and comfort him. Or you can go and support and comfort other people. Yeah. Yeah. And Chris, I again I really like Miniature Michelle. He's such a snake. But I like it. It's good stuff. Okay, and my wish for next time. I had one, but I forgot. Oh, I'm really looking forward to this confrontation question mark between Gentleman Bao Yin and Perfectus Starfall. Yeah, that's gonna be really interesting. And there are so many NPCs. I don't know. I think that's my wish is to see more opportunities for me to ask for interconflict roles. So y'all think of stuff too. Great. Anyway, so thank you all again. I really enjoyed this session. That was very fun. And I look forward to the next one.